You got to turn down that ego of yours. Why can't you just accept your loss? You keep blowing up your account over and over again because you can't accept your loss, man. Stop blowing it up. We got people to feed. We got people to provide for. We got cars to buy, watches to buy, bills to pay, debt to clear. Get in your bag. I need you guys to lower that ego. Whenever you take that loss, it's fine. Accept that L. Change that L in your head to a W. Understand that loss was supposed to go down. That loss was supposed to happen. But some of y'all internalize and metaphysicalize that loss as the most negative thing that's ever happened to you into your entire life. I can't be wrong into the market. Brrr, put down another trade. I can't be wrong. Brrr, put down another trade. Stop loss again, over and over and over and over again, because you continue to put yourself in that evil, repetitious cycle. Let's get out of the hamster wheel and let's understand the science and strategies to overcome this heinous thing called ego. All right, let's do it. So, understanding ego in trading. One, where does ego come from? Ego comes from a couple of things, okay? It's going to come from pride. Pride is going to be a really big one, okay? Some of you guys literally can't accept the fact that you're not as good as you might think you are. Some of you might think you're a much better trader than you think you are, and trading how good you are does not only determine the profit, because honestly, you could hit a really lucky trade and make a bunch of money, but it comes down to how disciplined you are. Okay. If you're not disciplined, you're going to just completely get absolutely eaten alive and destroyed. Okay. Once again, you're going to let that pride come back to you, eat up your emotions, destroy you, and you're not going to be able to progress and get to the level that ultimately you just want to be in. Okay. I know a lot of you guys are trying to run it up, but your desperation and your need to run it up so bad, you're destroying your account over and over and over again, moving with so much ego, moving with so much pride, not reflecting on the things that you've done and the decisions that you made. Let's just get in our bag and lock in. So listen, let's understand the science of ego and trading. Okay. So the prefrontal cortex is going to be crucial for self-regulation and decision making in trading. So understand that your prefrontal cortex is responsible for you being logical, for you making good contingent decisions, for you not making crashed out decisions that are irrational, impulsive, and just aren't really going to get you to the next level. Okay. So you need to really get a good grasp on yourself, lower your anxiety, lower your depression, and understand that if you took a loss, it's not the end of the world. You're not unsuccessful. You're not going to starve. You're not going to not eat. You're not going to not have a crib over your head. And even if that's the case right now, understand that God's putting you through these things due to the fact that these are temporary lessons that you're supposed to go through right now. Right now. Okay? So, your dopamine receptors, okay, inside of your brain, they can also enhance ego-driven behavior through feelings of reward and pleasure. So understand that ego-driven behavior, it can sometimes just stray your complete perspective of everything. Okay? So stop mental masturbating through losses, especially my futures and forex guys. Some of you guys are just clicking these two buttons right here, sell and buy. And you guys are just on here, click, 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 not learning anything, just constantly just fiending to just see some green P&L instead of just playing properly. It's disgusting. Okay. This is going to bring me to a lot of behavioral studies that we run into. Okay. So research by Volcal, ETL, in 2011 really highlights the effects of ego's effect on somebody's trading psychology. So if you have ego, you can make a lot of bad decisions. You can think you're the greatest trader in the world after a win streak, and your dopamine receptors are going to be so filled with pleasure and filled with a feeling that when the loss does come, it's going to destroy your world. And that's because you have way too much attachment to the money and attachment to everything outside of your performance. Okay. You're responsible for praying to God. You're responsible for being disciplined. You're responsible for being consistent. And if you break those things, that's going to be based on you. Just is what it is. So, understanding ego's role in human and evolution. Okay. So, ego enhances survival due to the fact that it drives competition and self-preservation in social context. Okay. So ego is going to be the thing that pretty much lets us compete against everyone else. Okay. The fact that you think that you're better than everyone else, or the fact that you think that you deserve some certain better things, is what enhances survival. This is the reason why I believe human beings created shoes. We have things like beds and stuff like that, etc. This is because of the fact that human beings, I felt like, had ego. We felt like we didn't deserve to be sleeping on the floor. So we made beds, started creating chairs, started creating shoes, things like that. We didn't want to walk barefoot anymore. So we made, things like shoes. That's the best shoe I could draw. Let me draw some soles for y'all, some laces. All right. So we created things like shoes, okay, because we didn't think walking on the floor was it anymore. So ego is responsible for enhancing competition. It drives us to push for better. It drives us to compete against other humans. And it really protects you in a self-preservation context. But have a positive ego. Have an ego so big that you don't want to break your rules. Have an ego so big that you refuse to take anything but A+ setups. Have an ego so big that you refuse to be lazy. Have an ego so big that you refuse to be inconsistent. Have an ego so big that you refuse to trade based off of emotions. Okay? So rewire your brain and rewire your ego. Okay, you can actually use your ego to become your friend. Okay, just use it in a positive limelight. Don't trade, okay, in an aspect trying to show off people, trying to show off your P&L on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it be. Don't trade because of that. Please, for the love of God, please do not trade because of that. Trade because you genuinely love it. Trade because you want to progress, and trade because you are trying to get to the next level. Inshallah, God wills. Okay. So ego, it holds you back a lot in trading. Okay. So understand that ego holds you back in trading. And my futures and forex traders, okay, F and F, I like to call it. Okay. You guys need to be playing with the stop loss. Stock options and crypto traders, you guys can play the 0% strategy, which I've dropped videos on. But if you're a futures and forex trader especially, you cannot ignore your stop loss. Traders with high ego and people who especially come from a sports background, maybe a gambling background, this all trickles down from stuff that you guys have, or people who are even good at school, people who might be successful in business as well. So if you notice you were good at school, you were a successful business person, you're good at sports, pretty much just good at everything other than trading, you need to come into the market and just humble yourself. You need to get right with God immediately. Because if you're coming in with that same mindset of, okay, not saying that you're coming into the mindset of, oh, I'm going to be horrible. No. Come into the mindset of, I'm ready to be disciplined and consistent every single day, regardless of the profit that I make. Because in this game, if you don't think like that, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. You're going to get destroyed. You're kind of just competing with yourself, to be honest, seeing how disciplined you can be forever. Okay. So loss aversion is also a big reason why ego tends to seep into our brains. So loss aversion and research shows that ego-driven trades tend to overreact to losses. Start panicking. Oh my gosh, I just lost. I just lost all my bread. Oh my gosh, I just blew up my account. Why did I do that? Start slapping yourself. Start breaking the table. Start throwing journals. Start crashing out. And that's not the vibe, man. Y'all are not going to progress to the next level acting like babies. Y'all are too emotional. When you take that loss, you hop off the chart like a man or a woman, bro. And it's not a loss until you close. Don't forget that too. It's never a loss until you decide to close. Some of y'all just are just inconsistent. You're not going hard enough. You don't want it bad enough. And you're crumbling over every little thing within this world. You're worrying about everything but God in the bag. Focus on God and focus on the bag. Okay? And focusing on God, inshallah, God will definitely get you the bag. Because you're going to realize God is just telling us, oh, wait, let's be disciplined. Let's be consistent. Let's not be heinous individuals. Okay? God, I truly believe, alhamdulillah, wants us to win. Okay? So I'm here to just tell you guys, like, let's just listen to God so we can start winning. Okay? Because people who are listening to God are definitely winning. So you need to cut down that overconfidence too, especially if you're not as good as you think you are. You might not be as technically proficient as you think you are yet, especially if you're still lower time frame minute scalping. If you're still minute scalping, I already know you don't really have a good grasp on the market, and overconfidence leads to traders to underestimating risk, okay? Leads to you crashing out, leads to you putting on size over and over and over and over again, putting on trades over and over and over again, and really just making rash, horrible decisions that you don't need to be making. Okay. So, which is going to result to financial setbacks. You're going to be put back months, weeks, days worth of progress because of the fact that you couldn't just accept the loss and you wanted to crash out multiple times in a single day. Like, I'm about to get so mad, bro. Why do y'all blow up your account? I don't understand. Just stop. As someone who's blown up their account before, right? Now that I'm on the side of profitability and a coach and teacher, I literally can't even fathom how you blow your account. But now this is why I decided to become a coach. I'm starting to see the certain slip sides, the certain things, and I'm realizing it all just comes down to really ego and overconfidence. If you're a horrible trader and you stick to your risk reward and you don't win that much, you won't be blowing up your account that quickly. It'll still take you a little minute. Even if you lose every single trade, it'll take you a little while. And if you're losing every single trade, you're not technically proficient. That's just the truth. Okay. So ego has a big influence on relationships and goals. So ego, it's going to really stop and block your personal growth. So ego often prevents individuals from accepting constructive criticism or learning from mistakes. This is why some of y'all significantly benefit from when you come to me for mentorship. Okay. Some people come to me for mentorship and immediately start seeing the results start get put into play. Okay. Because I'm realizing it's just certain mental barriers being blocked that I'm able to identify now. So accept constructive criticism, accept the fact that you made fucking mistakes too. You're not perfect. You're not a perfect human being. Okay. None of us are God. And accept those mistakes, accept those losses, transmute them, and use that pain to go harder. Okay. So, two, it's going to cause conflict in teams. So some of you guys might be trading within a group, trading with friends and stuff like that. And having an ego can lead to disagreements, and it's going to go ahead and hinder effective collaboration and teamwork, especially if you're marking setups together and doing stuff like that. If you have a big ego in trading, you don't need to be trading with anybody because you might lead them to making destructive decisions based off of your influence, when trading should be our own personal journey with just God and us. Okay. So three, it's going to impact your decision-making process. So ego-driven decisions may overlook necessary data, resulting in poor outcomes, especially if you think you know how market works every single time, especially if you know how market works within every single scenario. You're just going to be thinking, oh, let me just put on size. I know this is going to work out. And the next thing you know, it doesn't. You realize you're wrong, and then you're desperately holding a contract instead of just sticking to an A-plus plan. Never trade out of ego. Trade off of strict criteria that you like. Four, it's going to narrow your perspective on success. An inflated ego can limit one's ability to see alternative paths to success too. Some of you guys think that, oh, I don't know how this person just got it that fast. You don't see the hours, blood, sweat, and tear that that person have put in. Okay. It's about just coming on here, going hard and grinding each and every single day. No matter how tired we are, we got to keep training this muscle. We got to keep going hard no matter what. We're here to be the biggest, inshallah, if God wills. Okay. We're here to pray to God. God is the biggest, but we're here to get big. We're here to try to be successful. We're here to win. We got people to take care of. We can't be failing. We can't be crumbling underneath any sudden circumstance of just weakness. We got to go hard. So understand, these are going to be some effective strategies to conquer ego in trading. Number one, like I always tell you guys, pray to God. Okay. Talk to God. Go read your text. I don't care if you guys are Christian, Muslim, whatever. Just do your thing. Go pray to God. Ask God for wisdom. Ask God to lower your anxiety. Ask God for clear mental visions in order for you to achieve your goal within a simple sense. Your P&L should look like this, gradually just going up due to the fact that you're getting better each and every single day. And that's how life should be looking too, going in an upwards direction, going harder every single day, getting better every single day. And understand that self-awareness is crucial. Recognizing ego's influence leads to better decision making. Okay. Understand if you're about to trade out of ego. If you just made a whole bunch of bread, why are you trying to put on size and get back in? Some of y'all got to relax. Go pray and go woosah. Go breathe, and meditation definitely can help too. So you guys can definitely meditate when you pray. That helps. Breathe, and regular breathing, prayer, and meditation helps reduce your ego-driven trading behavior. Praying to God really helps too, because when you submit yourself, you pray, you're going to be humbled. You're going to be ready to just dominate, and you can make 10 figures in a day, and you're going to know that God is the greatest thing in this world. And trust me, knowing that, it's going to keep you guys really chill, whether you guys take the biggest loss in the world or have the biggest win in the world. Okay. I love you guys so much. Stay prayed up to God. Keep grinding. StackMODE.net for all trading education. Let that ego go. Transmute that ego into a positive one. Let that negative ego go, I'll tell you. and transmute it into a positive one. We got to win. We're here to protect and provide for our families. We got people who love us. Let's get in our bag. I love y'all. Peace.